So a vulnerability scan. It is the process of examining your systems and network devices for holes, for weaknesses, issues, and finding them before a potential attacker does. Specialized tools called vulnerability scanners are designed to help administrators discover and address these vulnerabilities. Vulnerability scanning is an ongoing process, and it is not enough to scan systems once and assume they will be secure from that point on. Vulnerability scan goals: identify vulnerabilities. This includes outdated software versions that contain flaws or even missing patches. Identify lack of security controls. Vulnerability scanners can identify many common misconfigurations. Some scanners are even capable of checking for misconfigurations. Penetration testing, or pen testing, simulates an attack from a malicious outsider probing your network and systems for a way in. Pen tests are often the most aggressive form of security testing and can take on many forms depending on what is considered in or out of scope. Goes beyond vulnerability testing and actually tries to exploit the system. Its goal is to measure an organization's level of resistance to an attack and to uncover any weaknesses within the environment. It emulates the same methods attackers would use. Types of penetration testing. The type of pen testing should depend upon the organization, its security objectives, and the management's goals. Black box testing. The tester has no knowledge of the internal design or features of the system. It actually simulates the external attacker the best. White box testing. The tester has complete knowledge of the internal system. It may yield a more complete result, but it may not be representative of an external hacker. It may be a good indicator of an internal type threat. A gray box testing. Some information about internal working is given to the tester. It helps guide their tactics toward areas we want to have thoroughly tested, but this approach mitigates the risks of the other two models. Security audits. These are systematic evaluations performed with the purpose of demonstrating the effectiveness of controls to a third party. It is performed by independent auditors. Auditors provide an impartial, unbiased view of the state of the security controls. Types of audits. Internal audits are performed by an organization's internal staff. The reports are typically intended for an internal audience. The disadvantage is conflict of interest and hidden agendas. External audits are performed by third-party auditors. Reports are intended for third-party stakeholders. Non-disclosure agreements are a prerequisite. Major disadvantage is the cost.